Good evening. I too would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. And as Uncle Andrew said, Wominjika, welcome. And thank you, Uncle Andrew, for your counselling words and for the work that you and your colleagues, your community are doing to progress Indigenous rights to where we are today. Acknowledging that there are still a lot that still needs to be done, but we commend you and your team and your colleagues for all the work that you do, and welcome to all other First Nations guests here tonight. We appreciate you joining us tonight. I greet you with the Islamic greeting of Assalamu Alaikum, which means peace be upon you, and Ramadan Mubarak to you all. Thank you for joining us on a very important night for the Muslim community and one of AIS's most important annual events. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank our co-hosts, Ms. Nina Taylor and Mr. Nick McGowan. Thank you very much for the work that you do in Parliament and your community, and thank you very much for being a co-host tonight as well. I'd also like to acknowledge and welcome our keynote speaker, Ms. Lorraine Finlay from the Australian Human Rights Commission, and we look forward to hearing from her shortly. Thank you. And also to all the parliamentarians that are here tonight, we appreciate everyone's contribution to our democracy. We know you have a busy year ahead and we wish you well in that endeavour. And also welcome to the members of the judiciary, all the judges, magistrates, barristers, legal practitioners, to the many representatives from the consular corps, the public service, law enforcement agencies, media and academia, NGOs, sports, arts, entertainment, business, community and religious groups. Welcome one and all. And I'd also like to acknowledge and thank Iskander Razak. I too had times when I shouldn't have eaten things after sunset to regret the following day. And imagine trying to say a few words like you are doing emceeing tonight just before you're about to have your meal. So I'm going through that process right now, so if you bear with me. I also want to acknowledge the AIS Advisory Board members who are here tonight. Thank you for your ongoing support and your counselling, and also to the AIS Executive team. And if it wasn't for your contribution and your commitment, your energy, I think we wouldn't be able to do these programs for at least 25 odd years. So thank you very much for the AIS team as well. The Victorian Parliamentarians Iftar dinner, like I said, is one of the most important dinners for us in the month of Ramadan. For an organisation that started in the year 2000, we set off on a journey with the purpose of building bridges between individuals and communities through interaction, sharing information and cooperating on initiatives. The AIS started on this journey by adopting the philosophy of using our commonalities, like Nick said, as a starting point for engagement, and view our differences as a point for our growth. We came into this space to listen, learn, and lift ourselves to higher and better planes. We came to converse, commit and collaborate on initiatives that will hopefully make our society better. Our story is not dissimilar to many people here tonight, and it is the same story as it was 26 years ago, and it is about putting the human dignity, or upholding the human dignity at the forefront of our work. Excuse me. It's about recognising that each individual will have a different perspective and that they have a right to hold that view. We share spaces but can have diametrically opposite views. Our duty is to listen with genuine curiosity and respect. As much as I'm a cautious optimist, we have seen in Australia and abroad that division could easily tear apart years, sometimes even centuries of coexistence. Highlighting differences has been weaponised by some for one group's supposed superiority over the other, or the reason for their right to privilege. It's attitudes like these which can eventually evolve into conflict. Many lives throughout history, mostly innocent lives, have been lost because hate was allowed to flourish and be pervasive. This groundswell of negative energy has resulted in conflict, so the challenge remains for us to overcome hate and dehumanisation. So the question is, how do we overcome hate and dehumanisation? It's not easy, but it starts with us. It starts with modelling the behaviour we want to see in others and become beacons of hope. It requires us to step up and show love, even to our detractors, by having conversations to call out their behaviour at appropriate times and in suitable settings. However loud the divisive and strident voices sound to be, the more stronger we should be in our resolve to stay united. I remember being in an audience with the late Fethullah Gülen, an Islamic scholar and peace advocate who left us in 2024, who once made the following comments about being in dialogue with others. He said words to the effect, engaging with others in dialogue requires resolve, commitment and persistence, because there will be detractors. Their voices will be louder when things are tough. However, this path is a long and winding one, and it requires resilient souls who are steadfast, energised and sincere. We should seek no materialistic gain other than social cohesion, where people are valued and respected." End of quote. To me, these words remain poignant today more so than ever before. It requires courage and persistence to remain at the centre of the social and political spectrum when there are voices calling us to the periphery. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I'm hoping it's through events like these that we reinvigorate ourselves and our commitment to engage with people who are not in our usual circles. So let's engage with an open mind, hear their stories, because I'm sure we'll hear our hopes and our aspirations in their words. We'll see ourselves when we look into their eyes. This may sound utopic, but for me, Islam teaches Muslims about hope, encourages us to put our belief in humanity. For the last 26 years, I've remained hopeful that better days are ahead and that we should remain on the course and keep doing what is right. And I know there are people in this room who have been on this path a lot longer than I have. I applaud them and commend them to keep doing what they're doing, as we need it more so now than ever before. Once again, I thank you on behalf of the Australian Intercultural Society and our co-hosts for joining us tonight. I wish this holy period of holy days and nights, and by the way, Ramadan's commencement coincided with Lent, the Lunar New Year, and the lead up to Purim and Nowruz. I hope that these important days open the doors for mercy. I pay tribute to our sponsors, Sedimere Foundation, Parker Lawyers, Melbourne ISP, Gözleme King and Fountain Bookshop. I greet everyone with the deepest respects. Thank you again. Ramadan Mubarak to you all. Thank you.